my friends, and welcome back to my channel where I talk about my art and my process. So it has been a little over a month since my last video, and I am trying to get better about that. So I just finished this painting. I'm very proud of it, very excited, and I'm going to share with you some time-lapse video and discussion to show you how this painting came about. So here we go. To start this story where it begins, we need to go back to this painting I did for Comic-Con of a quote-unquote realistic dragon, where I really got into the details of the scales and everything. So I had posted this on my social media, and a friend, well, a family member, messaged me asking if I'd ever done a bearded dragon before. And I thought she meant a dragon with a beard, but then I realized she meant a lizard because she has a granddaughter who has a pet bearded dragon. This is the reference photo I used of the pet bearded dragon. So in any case, I asked her if she wanted to commission a dragon, and we haggled over the details a little bit, and she decided she did want to commission a picture of her granddaughter Libby's bearded dragon, whose name is Lucy. So now I know that it's a girl bearded dragon, and of course that it's a pet. So initially I had planned to draw the bearded dragon in its natural environment, which I discovered is Australia, but I couldn't find a good background image, so I ended up sticking with the background from my reference photo, and I had a few photos to reference, but this was the one that I liked the best because it showed the dragon by herself with a toy on like this soft bath mat or rug or whatever. But my cousin, she said that I didn't have to paint the background gray to make it the same. And I decided to paint it green because I was thinking it looked a lot like the moss texture that I've been adding to some of my paintings, which has felt like it's come across really well. So green it was, and this was very time consuming, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. And I always say that I'm not a realist, but I don't know, this is kind of realistic. I mean, it's in my own style, and you can recognize my style if you look at any of my paintings. But that's kind of realistic. So maybe I can't say that I'm not a realist. I just feel like that's not my strongest suit, or maybe that's not what I'm focused on. But in any case, I felt like this painting taught me a lot of things about realism, I guess, and detail work and learning new things. And so anyways, I'm really happy with it for all of those reasons. But I am also interested in what everybody thinks about pricing art, because I think I priced this too low, and it's fine because that happens a lot. For me, it's easier than pricing it too high because then you never hear from the person again, and that's very frustrating. But this took a lot of time. It was a lot of detail, and I feel like it's a really good painting. So how to price differently, how to price to get a little bit more of a fair outcome for the artist, I just don't know. I do know what I found works well with selling my paintings at in-person events is that I initially will have a painting maybe framed, and I'll price it at a certain price, and if it doesn't sell through a number of events, I might unframe it and lower the price, and that seems to work. Eventually the paintings will sell. I mean, unless maybe they're just not good paintings, but I think I have a pretty good sense about what of my work is better than other of my work. That can be hard too, because you to your paintings and you feel like they're good, and then when people don't buy them, you feel disappointed and sad. But really, that's neither here nor there. I mean, I am a small business. I am an artist who has a small business, and I have to think like one. So I'm really trying to get better at that. And the whole sort of pricing structure that I've been employing, and the framing and unframing, and how do we price framed work as opposed to unframed works, it's a continual process. So back to this painting here. When I was doing the foreground of the little nubby shapes in the green, I was like, yeah, these are really cool. They look just like my moss. I was really happy with them. And then I started doing the background, and the background became more of an abstracted pattern, which is fun for me too, because I I can do that sort of repetitive work if it feels like it has a point. And so this really felt like it had a point. It was repetitive and it was tedious, but the result was looking so good. I was like, oh, I've got to keep doing this. So after I got all of this background done, I did work into the foreground a little bit more to try to darken some of those darks and just the pop of the contrast of the dark green and the light green. It just felt like it really gave it a good feeling of something tangible that you could almost touch. Anyways, I'm just very happy with the background and the foreground and the lizard. The whole thing, I feel like it came out really well, and it made me think that commission work can be such a great thing because you paint something that you wouldn't have painted before, and then you can be really happily surprised. I know sometimes people end up in commissions where people can be really demanding, and that can be bad. But so far, all of my commissions have been people I've known, and I don't think I've really had any serious issues. I do run into the pricing issue, so I feel like I've undercharged the person, and I spend so much time working on a piece. But you can't really back out. You've already made a deal, so that's that. But here it is. Ta-da! So there we have it, the story of this painting and how it came to be. And if you enjoyed my story and my painting and the time lapse and the whole thing, please like, subscribe, share, comment. All of those things are good. My channel is small and I'd really love for it to grow. So thank you, everyone.